Hey there, and welcome to another episode of Economics. And of course, today we are going to proceed further on our syllabus. This is the fourth topic we're looking into today, which is the theory of demand. You can see from the syllabus, we're going to be looking at the meaning and determinants of demand. We're going to be looking at demand schedules and curves. We're going to be looking at the distinction between change in quantity demanded and change in demand. We're going to be looking at the types of demand also. It is being shown on your screen right now. We're going to look at composite, derived, competitive, and joint demand, which are the types of demand we have. Then we're going to be looking at types, nature, and determinants of elasticity and their measurements. Price, income, and cross elasticity of demand. Then D, which is the concluding part, I'm going to look at the importance of elasticity of demand to consumers, producers, and governments. Okay, and I have stressed, I, as the commander of this great army called the O3 schools, if you are part of this family, you are welcome. All right, I've stressed severally that you should study according to your JAM syllabus. That is why we're taking these classes syllabus by syllabus. Okay, we have done 3 topics so far. This is the 4th topic, so please ensure you watch all of our videos. Search for O3 Schools Economics and you'll see all other videos that we have made to aid your learning and preparation for this exam. Okay, so today I'm going to look at the theory of demand. I'm going to start an introduction. I'm going to look at what demand is, look at wants and needs, look at demand schedules, demand curves. Okay, and then we'll close it up for today. All right, so now do not forget that this tutorial is brought to you by the O3 Schools JAM CBT Practice app. All right, we'll talk about the app in a moment, but let us see a question that relates to this. From the O3 Schools JAM CBT Practice app. This is a 2001 question, actually, a 2001 number 21. Okay, it's a 2001 question, number 21, and it says, you can see the table being shown. It is being displayed on the screen. It says the table below shows a demand schedule for eggs. Okay, by giving the price per dozen, by giving the quantity demanded in dozen, by giving the quantity supplied in dozen. Okay, you can see the values on the table, and then we're told, say, what is the equilibrium price? What is the equilibrium price? Okay, so A says 100, B says 80, C says 60, D says 110. So we'll come back to this question at the end of the class and not before, because at O3 Schools we believe in giving you value first. What we first teach you, and when we have taught you, then answering any question will not be an issue for you. So please ensure you download the application from Play Store. It has all the past questions that you need for your exam for all the subjects. Okay, it also has some wonderful features like the UTME challenge, where you can compete with all students that are writing JAM for this year to win amazing prizes, to get used to JAM past questions, JAM likely exam questions, and see all the way that JAM can use to set questions. Where's more, there's a question search feature. You can search for questions just like the way we found this question now. Using the question search feature, you can search for questions according to topic. And all the questions that JAM has set under that topic will come out for you to answer. What's more, there's a classroom that has one lecture notes that have been written according to the JAM syllabus like this. So you don't need to go and be buying textbook up and down. So no need to buy past questions, no need to buy textbooks. Okay, and some other wonderful and amazing feature. Please download the application today and activate it. Okay, if you want to activate, just send a message to this number 09121515246. Okay, just send a message to this number on WhatsApp and we will attend to you promptly. All right, so now let us look at the theory of demand. First of all, the first question that will come to your mind is, waiting demand. What is demand itself? Okay, what is demand? And we say that demand is the quantity of commodity. We say demand is the quantity of what? Of commodity. So as you can see here, we have what notes on the board, so that in case those of you that want to take notes, all right, you have something to write down and be able to revise with. The other things we are going to be explaining them so that you understand the other concepts that are not on the board. Please make sure you take your notes so that I can revise them over and over again. So we say that demand is the quantity of a commodity, okay, that a consumer is willing and able to purchase, okay. to say that demand is the quantity. Demand here is the quantity, that is the quantity, okay, of commodity, the quantity of commodity, okay, that a consumer is not only willing, okay, but is able to buy at various prices at a given period of time. That is what demand is. Demand is the quantity of commodity that a consumer is willing and able to purchase, okay, at what? At various prices, at a given period of time. So that is what demand is. All right. So you go to the market. All right. You go and go and buy some certain things that you need for your home. Okay. So you are a consumer. All right. You are going to the market to purchase a commodity. So there's a price. Okay, attached to each of those commodities that you are buying, okay, but you are willing, you are able to purchase them, okay, at those prices. That is what demand, okay, so because you need them, all right, you go to purchase them. So now let us push ahead. Under this, we're going to look at what we call effective demand and ineffective demand, okay. We're going to look at what we call effective demand, effective demand, and then I'm going to look at also ineffective demand, okay. So we say that effective demand, what does it mean? Effective demand means that the consumer, okay, is not only willing but is able to purchase a commodity. Okay, that is effective or demand. We say that demand is effective, or we say demand is effective when the consumer is able, not only able, but is willing to purchase a commodity, okay, at a given price. While ineffective demand means that the consumer no be say he no dey willing, no, he is willing to purchase that commodity, but he is not able for some certain reasons to purchase it. So the difference between effective and ineffective demand is that in effective demand, the consumer is willing, okay? In effective demand, the consumer is willing, okay, and then is able to purchase that commodity, okay, at a given price. While for ineffective demand, the consumer is willing, but he is not able. In one time, in one buyer, but he no fit. Okay, that is what we call ineffective or demand. So please take note of those two. Then we push further. We distinguish between wants and needs. Most of you you do not know the difference between wants and needs. Okay, so at this stage in your life, okay, you should know the difference between wants and your need. It will help you not only because you need to know the knowledge in economics. It will help you in your own life. It will help to plan yourself, okay, so that you can be able to save up for things that are important. Okay, so now what are wants and what are needs? Okay, we say that wants, they are human desire. Okay, they are human desires that are insatiable. Okay, wants are human desires that are insatiable, or unlimited. They are insatiable and unlimited. Okay, those are the words we use. Insatiable, okay, to describe wants. We also use unlimited. Okay, they know they finish. Okay, they are unlimited and they are insatiable. Okay, that is for these wants we can do without them. That's what you should first of all know about wants. For wants, we can do about them. We say they are unlimited. They know they finish. Okay, and they are insatiable. Means they are unquenchable. Okay, they are incapable of They're incapable of finishing, okay? So they are unquenchable. They are They are insatiable, okay? They are unlimited. Those are human desires that you can do without. For example, wearing wristwatch. Do you see wristwatch in my hand? No, be say I no fit buy. It's not as if I cannot purchase a wristwatch, but do I really need it? And okay, even if I need it, okay, do I need to buy the one that do I need to buy Rolex that is up to $1,000, the original Rolex? Okay, so that is why I say that this concept, wants and needs, you can apply it to your daily life. Okay, so you can choose to what? To not get some certain things, not because you cannot get them, but because you do not really need them. Okay, so for example, like toys, must you have toys? Okay, some of you can say you say you cannot sleep in your bed if you do not have teddy bear. Okay, can you not do without teddy bear? Okay, so toys, wristwatches, okay, even cars. Sometimes there are some cars that you will not need. Why don't you just buy a small car that can fare you to where you're going to and come? But some of you say, if it no be GLE, I know they buy. If it no be Benz, I know they drive. Okay, if it no be Gucci, I know they wear. Some of you are like that. So, do you really need them? Those are what? Wants. Wants are what? They are unlimited. They are human desires that are unlimited and what? And insatiable. Okay, they are unquenchable. They cannot finish. Okay, but we can do without them. Okay, those are what? I want. But needs are those satiable human desires. Okay, they are satiable. We cannot do without needs. Okay, so for wants, we say we can what now? We can do without them. Okay, why we say that for needs, we cannot do without what? Needs. Okay, so they are satiable. They are satiable human desires that we cannot do without. An example is what? Is food. Okay, you cannot do without what? Eating. Oh, even if your pastor say fast for one more time, go reach, hunger go catch you, wrong with. Okay, so you cannot do without what? Food. Okay, you cannot do without what? Clothing. Will you be walking naked? No. So you must what? You must what? Get what? Clothing. Okay, but that does not mean that you must go and buy Gucci. Oh, if it's not Gucci, I know they wear. Okay, so food, you cannot do without them. Clothes, even shelter. Does every man not need somewhere to lay his head? Okay, you need what? You need a small house. So you need a house to what? To lay your head. So shelter is also what? Among this category of what? Of things that are what? That are satiable. They are needs. Okay, you cannot do without these ones. But for wants, they are what? Unlimited. They are insatiable, and we can do without them. I hope by now, forever and ever, you already know the difference between wants and needs. Okay, so let us proceed further. Now we're going to be looking at demand schedule. Okay, demand schedule. I will say that a demand schedule is a table. Okay, it's a table that shows the various quantities of a commodity. That shows the various quantities of a commodity a consumer is willing and able to purchase at various prices and at a given period of time. Okay, a demand schedule is a table that shows the various quantities of a commodity a consumer is willing and able to purchase at various prices and at a given period of time. So please take note of the definition. And under this demand schedule, we have two types. The one we call the individual demand schedule, and then number two, we have the one we call the market demand schedule. Individual demand schedule and market demand schedule. So for individual demand schedule, what does it show us? It shows us the various quantities of a commodity a given individual. Okay, it shows the various quantities of a commodity that a single individual will purchase at various prices and at a given period of time. Okay, it shows us the various quantities of a commodity that a single individual will purchase at various prices and at a given period of time. Okay, so now let me just quickly show you how an individual demand schedule looks like. Okay, an individual demand schedule. All right, so if you have the price of a commodity, let us see an hypothetical example. Let's say if you have the price of a commodity, okay, in naira. All right, then we now have the quantity demanded. Okay, the one we call or QD, all right, or was supplied, or you say units. All right. So now this is what the price of the commodity, this is the quantity or the units that the consumer or that the individual is able to afford at a particular price. Okay. So now when the price of a commodity X, let's say it was 1 naira, the price of a commodity X, it was 1 naira, the individual Russian, he was able to purchase 20. Okay. But when the price goes to 2 naira, was able to purchase 18. This is the individual metric. Okay, now when the price was 3 naira, was able to purchase or afford 16 units. When the price was 4 naira, was able to afford 14 units, and when it was 5 naira, was able to afford 12 units. This is what an individual demand schedule. Okay, all right, you can see what the quantity, all right, that the individual could purchase at the various prices. Okay, at 1 naira, at 2 naira, at 3 naira, at 4 naira, and 5 naira. Okay, this is what we call the individual demand schedule. Say it shows the various quantities of commodity a single individual will purchase at various prices and at a given period of time. Please, if you are watching this video and for any reason you are not liking it, okay, you are not subscribing, you are not dropping a comment, you are not sharing, what you are doing is very, very wrong. Because doing all of this action will make other students to easily find these videos and join us to learn. So please ensure you click on that like button immediately. Okay, click on the share, all right, share to your friends on WhatsApp, share to your friends on different social media platforms, Facebook, click on share button, all right, and let's others be able to come and join us. All right. So as you can see, if you're on YouTube, there are no ads in this channel because we do not want to disturb your experience. So please support us by sharing. All right. And God will bless you. Now, this is the individual demand schedule. Okay. Show the various quantities of a commodity at a particular individual will purchase at various prices. Okay. Now, let us now forge ahead. Let us now look at the market demand schedule. So for the market demand schedule, we say that the market demand schedule shows the various quantities of a commodity. The various quantities of a commodity purchased by more than one consumer at various prices and time. Okay, it shows the various quantities of a commodity purchased by more than one consumer at various prices and time. Let us now look at an example, an hypothetical example of what we call a market demand schedule. An hypothetical example of a market demand schedule. So if we have, of course, the price, the price of a commodity again in naira. Should we use dollar? So if you don't like dollar, okay, this is the price. Now, we'll now look at we're talking about we say it shows the various quantity of commodity purchased by more than one customer now, one consumer. We're not talking about one consumer again because it is not individual consumer. We're talking about more than one consumer. Okay, if you have price, then you can have maybe let's say Mr. Green. Okay, then let's say Mr. Blue. Okay, let's say Mr. Yellow. All right. Okay. So let's say we have 3 consumers: Mr. Green, Mr. Blue, and Mr. Yellow. Okay. Then we'll look at the total quantity demanded. All right. Now, when the price of a commodity J, okay, let's say this is the commodity is now commodity. Okay, let's say it's even yam. Let's say the commodity is yam. Okay, so when the price, of yam was 1 naira, all right, Mr. Green was able to afford 20 tubers in Russia. He buy 20 tubers with no good. Okay, Mr. B, on the other hand, was able to buy 10 tubers. while Mr. Y was able to buy what 15 tubers. Okay, if you calculate the total quantity that was demanded by both Mr. Green, Mr. Blue, and Mr. Y, when the price of 1 naira, you see that 20 plus 10 is what? Is 30. 30 plus what? 15 is what? Is 45. So you have what? 45. Now let's proceed. Now, when the price increased to 2 naira, okay, maybe because of inflation, because of traveling costs, or cost of what? Taking those goods from the farm, okay, to the nearest consumers or to the nearest market, okay, let's say because fuel increased, okay, like what we're facing right now, fuel increment every day, okay, let's say this was what was happening, then the price increased to 2 naira. Mr. Green was not able to what? To afford what? 18 tubers. Say, he buy 20 again, no, things don't cost. Then Mr. Blue now was able to afford 8. Okay, Mr. Y was able to afford what? 13. Then the total, if you add the total together, you're going to have what? 18 plus 8 is what? That's 26. 26 plus 13 is what? Is 39. All right. So please, in case you are in an exam or do not use the head, press your calculator. 18 plus 8 plus 13. Okay. Get it. No need to form say you do know. Okay. You can see. You can easily make mistakes. All right. So please avoid that. Now when the price of the commodity went to 3 naira, okay, Mr. Green was able to avoid 16 tubers. Mr. Blue was able to afford 6 tubers. Then Mr. Yellow was able to afford, let's say, 9 tubers. Then if you add this together, I'm going to have 6 plus 16 is 22. Okay, 22 plus 9 is what? Is 31. All right. Now let's proceed. Now, when the price of yam went to 4 naira, Baba was able to afford 14. Baba was able to afford what? 4. Okay, Baba was able to afford, let's say, 5. Okay, if you add this together, we're going to have 14 plus 4 is what? Is 18. 18 plus 5 is 23. All right, when the price of yam went to 5 naira, Baba was able to afford 12 units or 12 yams. Baba was able to afford what? 2. Baba was able to afford what? 1. Baba was able to afford, okay, total, 12 plus 2 is what? Is 14 plus 1 is what? Is 15, okay? So this is what? This is a market demand schedule, okay? It's a market demand schedule. Okay, this is a market demand schedule. Okay, what does it show? It shows the various quantities of a commodity purchased by more than one consumer at various prices and what? And time. All right. So now, before we go to what? Demand curve. All right. I want to what? Use this data to what? To draw to draw what? A graph. Okay. So now, but let us get to the demand curve first. What's the demand curve? As you already know, we're talking about a curve. That means we're talking about what? A graph. Okay. We're talking about what? A graph. So what a demand curve shows is what? The various quantities that are purchased at various what? Prices. The various quantities that are purchased at various what? Prices. That is what a demand curve what shows. It shows what? The various quantities that are purchased at various prices. The various quantities that are purchased at various prices. And for a demand curve, okay, for a demand curve, the price, okay, the price is usually plotted against what? The quantity demanded. All right. So we plot price against quantity demanded. All right, QD. The price is usually what? On the vertical axis. Okay, if you have your graph like this, the price is usually what? On this vertical axis, while what? The quantity demanded is usually what? On this horizontal what? Axis that we call the x-axis. Okay, some of you do not know the difference between vertical and horizontal. This is vertical. Okay, vertical, this is what? Horizontal. In case you want to just know, just do like this. Don't do your hand like this. Vertical, horizontal. Okay, so this is what? Horizontal. This is what? Vertical. And this is what? The x-axis. And this one is what? The y-axis. Okay, so we usually plot what? The price of the commodity on the vertical y-axis, while we plot what? The quantity demanded on the x-axis. Lovely, right? So now that is what we call what? Our demand curve. All right. The demand curve shows what? It's a graph that shows the various quantities that are purchased at various prices. Okay. So now let us now see. If we plot a graph, okay, of an individual or demand schedule. If we plot a graph of an individual demand schedule, what it gives to us is what? Is an individual demand curve. All right. If we plot a graph of an individual demand schedule, what it gives to us is what? Is an what? Is an individual demand curve. While if we plot a graph of a market schedule, okay? If we plot a graph of a market schedule, what it gives to us, of course, is what? What it gives to us is what is a market demand curve. It gives us a market demand curve. So when we plot individual demand schedule on a graph, what we have is what is individual demand curve. Okay, but when we plot what? A market demand schedule, on a graph, what it gives to us is what? Is a market demand curve. All right, so please take note of what of that. All right, now let us now use what those hypothetical examples what we took on the other. We want to talk about the individual demand schedule to what? To plot a graph so that we'll see what this demand curve what looks like. All right, so let us see. The first example we saw price. Okay, and then in naira, then we saw what? QD. Okay, we say when price was 1 naira, 20 units, it was 2 naira, 18, it was 3 naira, 16, it was 4, 14, it was 5, then we now have what? 12. Okay, so I want to work to draw our graph like this. We already said that for a demand curve, all right, we usually have what? Our price on the vertical y-axis. So here we have our price, okay, in naira. All right, then here will be our what? Our quantity demanded. All right, so now let us start. Let us begin. This is our point 0. Okay, so now we say when price was 1 naira, okay, they demanded what? 20 what units. Okay, so if this one is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we do not have the luxury of time to actually draw out all the graphs. So let us just represent this what? Units. Okay, on this axis. So the smallest unit here is what? Is 12. So let us say 12. Then let us say 14. Let's say 16. Okay, let's say 18. And then let's put 20 here. Okay, so now we say when price was 1 naira, okay, how many quantity was demanded? 20. So this is 1 naira, and then what? This is what? 20. So they demanded 20 units when price was 1 naira. Let us proceed. Now, when the price was 2 naira, 18 units was what? Was demanded. Okay, when the price was 2 naira, this was 2 naira, they demanded what? 18 units. Okay, so just draw like this. Demanded this what? 18 units. Now, when the price went further to what? To 3 naira, how many units was demanded? Demanded was 16 units. Okay, when price was 4 naira, the demanded was 14 units. Okay, when price was 5 naira, they demanded how many units? 12 units. This is 12 units. Okay, so now this is our graph. All right, so we can also draw this down. All right, draw this down. Now this is our individual demand curve. Okay, this is our demand curve, right? For what? For this price of what? Of commodities and what? And the quantity that were demanded at these prices. Okay, if you now check the slope of this graph, as you can see, these points, all right, these points of what? Of intersection, okay, between the prices and quantity demanded. If you see that what the graph is what? Is the graph was slopes or downward, all right? So because I don't have a rule, all right? This is supposed to be a straight curve down, and of course precision also, all right? Supposed to be a straight line downward. Okay, so please take note of of that. So this is at the point of intersection between the prices and and the quantity demanded. So this is an individual demand curve. Okay, this is a demand curve showing the prices of commodities and and the quantities that were demanded at those prices. All right, I don't really feel comfortable with this, so please, if you are drawing it, make sure you use a rule to use a rule to join what all of these points. All right, so let me just draw something. Hey, I don't draw what's one. So please just you understand what I'm saying. Just join what this point. And this, as you can see, also one thing, other thing you can bring out from what from this what explanation is that the slope, you can see it coming what downward. All right, it's coming downward to show you that what that when the price is high, okay, less quantities were demanded. So the relationship between what price and the quantity demanded in a demand curve, okay, is what is negative, or it is what it is inverse. You say it is inverse or negative. This means that what that at higher prices, it means that at higher prices, less quantity were demanded, while at lower prices, higher quantities were demanded. So please understand, they can ask you a question, what is the relationship between what price and quantity demanded in a demand curve? Okay, you just take note of that, that the relationship is what is inverse or what is negative, because as you can see, this one is what we call what the slope. It slopes what downward. It slopes what downward, indicating that at higher prices, okay, less quantity were demanded. All right, so this is an individual demand curve. So let's also quickly see what a market or demand curve. All right, so we're also going to use the example we used in the other case to also finish up this. So for that one, we said what price. Okay, let us take the prices. Okay, price. Okay, this is price. Okay, and then we had what Mr. G, Mr. B, Mr. Y. Okay, so let us also bring out this data. All right, then we had what a total here. All right, I think at 1 naira, at 2 naira, at 3 naira, at 4 naira, at 5 naira. All right, then we had what the quantity that were demanded by both Mr. G, Mr. B, and Mr. Y. The total, the first one was what was 45, the next one was 39, the next one was 31. I don't know what's the last, I think there was 23, and then there was not 15. Okay, this was the total, but you see have the values. Okay, so you can always relate to it. All right, so for the market demand curve, what we do is that we plot the price, okay, against what the total quantities that were demanded by all of these consumers. All right, so we plot the price against what the total quantity was demanded. So let us say I have this. So I'm going to have something like this. All right, this is what your x-axis, and this is what your y-axis. Then 0 when price was 1, price was 2, price was 3, 4 when price was 5. All right, now then when what the total now, the least is what is 15, the next is 23, the next is 31, the next is 39, the next is what 45. All right, so now when the price was 1 naira, total quantity demanded was 45. All right, so when it was 1 naira, total quantity demanded 45. All right, so this is our point of intersection. Now, when price was 2 naira, total quantity demanded was 39. At 2 naira, we had 39. This is our point of intersection. When price was 3 naira, we had 31. When price was 3 naira, we had 31. Okay, 3 naira, we had 31. This is our point of intersection. When price was 4 naira, we had 23. Price of 4 naira, we had 23. Okay, this is our 23. It's our point of intersection here. Okay, and when price was 5 naira, we had 15 units that were demanded. Okay, so these are our point of intersection here. All right, so also we join this point with a rule. I don't want to draw rubbish, but let us try. Okay, let me come from this side. So we have this, we join. Okay, and as you can also see, the slope, okay, goes from top to bottom. All right, it slopes downwards. The curve it slopes downward, indicating that that at lower prices, higher quantity were demanded, and at higher prices, lower quantity were demanded. Okay, so you can also complete this. All right. All right, so now let's quickly go to the O3 School Jam CPT Practice app and take the questions we have before us. The 2001 question number 21. The table shows a demand schedule for X. Okay, you're given the price, quantity demanded, and quantity supplied. They say, what is the equilibrium price? So the equilibrium price, okay, will be, of course, the point where the quantity demanded and the quantity supplied are the same. Okay, that will be the equilibrium price. All right, so as you can see from the graph, at 18 naira, the quantity demanded was 490 and the quantity that was supplied was 490. Now, 2001 number 5, 2001 number 5, okay, they say in a demand curve, the relationship between price and quantity, okay, is what? A, they say indeterminate, B, direct, C, inverse, D, nil. Correct answer is what? Is inverse, okay? We already talked about that, okay? We said that what is inverse because the slope, okay, because what it slopes downward, indicating that at higher prices, consumers what we demand what less quantity. All right, so please download the OT School Jam app, activate, and I'll see you in the next episode. All right, we'll continue our study of the theory of demand. Thank you for joining us. My name is Master T. I'm the Grand Commander of this OT Schools Army. Join the army and be successful. See you there.